Hi, it is Thursday morning, 11th of July, and it is 8 a.m. in New York. This channel is Drips Media, and I will be covering financial news from New York stock exchanges before markets open. The regular trading for the U.S. stock market opens at 9:30 a.m. My name is Daniela Drips. Please follow us online.
Good morning. This is Drips Media, lid from New York. Drips Media, the revolutionary digital service that transforms the way you stay informed. With Drips Media, you get real-time news delivered in dynamic short video clips, keeping you updated on the latest headlines as they happen. Our cutting-edge technology curates and condenses top stories. Whether you're on the go or just need a quick update, Drips News ensures you're always in the know, effortlessly. Stay connected, stay informed, and experience news like never before with Drips News.
All three major indices finished the day with solid gains, fueled by optimism surrounding the start of the earnings season. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 39,721.4, marking a 1.1% increase and snapping a two-day losing streak. The S&P 500 also saw a strong performance, closing at 5,633.9, a gain of 1%. This marks the seventh consecutive day of gains for the index, indicating continued bullish sentiment in the market. The tech-heavy NASDAQ continued its impressive run, closing at 18,647.5, a 1.2% increase. This also marks the seventh straight day of gains for the NASDAQ, suggesting that investors remain confident in the technology sector's growth potential. Turning now to individual stock performances, Apple continues its hot streak, closing at $233, a 1.9% gain. This marks an impressive 7 consecutive trading days of gains for the tech giant. Meanwhile, Google reversed 2 days of losses, closing at $191.20, a 1.2% increase. The search engine giant seems to be regaining investor confidence after a brief dip. Microsoft also bounced back from 2 days of losses, closing at $466.30, a strong 1.5% gain. This positive movement suggests that investors are bullish on the software giant's future prospects. These strong performances from individual tech stocks, particularly Apple's continued upward trajectory, contributed significantly to the NASDAQ's impressive 7-day winning streak. It remains to be seen if this momentum can be sustained as earnings season unfolds and investors gain further clarity on the overall health of the economy. However, it wasn't just the tech giants driving the market yesterday. Tesla also had a good day, closing at $303.70, a gain of 2.8%. This marks the electric vehicle maker's sixth consecutive day of gains, with a 10-day gain of 12.3%. On the other hand, Amazon saw a slight dip, closing at $188.50, a decrease of 0.5%. This marks the e-commerce giant's second consecutive day of losses, breaking a 5-day winning streak. Despite Amazon's slight dip, the overall market sentiment remains positive, as evidenced by the strong performances of the major indices and many individual stocks. The coming days of earnings season will be crucial in determining whether this optimism is justified or if investors will need to adjust their expectations for the second half of the year. Nvidia also had a strong showing, closing at $134.90, a gain of 2.7%. This marks the chipmaker's third consecutive day of gains, indicating renewed investor confidence in the semiconductor industry. Meanwhile, Tesla extended its winning streak to an impressive 11 consecutive days, closing at $263.30, a modest gain of 0.4%. This impressive run has seen the electric vehicle maker gain over 12% in just over a week. However, Amazon saw a slight rebound, closing at $199.80, a 0.2% increase. This marks the e-commerce giant's second consecutive day of gains after snapping a 5-day winning streak. Nvidia also saw its stock price climb higher, closing at $134.90, a gain of 2.7% for the day. This positive movement marks the chipmaker's third consecutive day of gains, with a 10-day increase of 9.9%. This suggests that investor confidence in the semiconductor industry remains strong. Now let's delve into the financial sector, where we saw a mixed bag of results. Bank of America continued its positive momentum, closing at $41.70, a 0.8% gain. This marks the third consecutive day of gains for the banking giant. Similarly, J.P. Morgan also extended its winning streak to 3 days, closing at $207.80, a marginal gain of 0.1%. These gains suggest that investors remain optimistic about the banking sector's stability and profitability. However, not all financial institutions shared in the positive sentiment. MasterCard faced headwinds, closing at $433.60, a significant drop of 2.5%. This marks the third consecutive day of losses for the payment processing company. Visa also experienced a downturn, closing at $263, a 0.9% decrease. This is the third straight day of losses for Visa, indicating potential concerns among investors about the company's future prospects. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley bucked the trend, closing at $103.50, a solid gain of 0.8%. This marks the third consecutive day of gains for the investment banking giant, suggesting that investors are confident in its ability to navigate the current market conditions. Goldman Sachs, on the other hand, saw its stock price decline, closing at $352.10, a 1.2% drop. This marks the third consecutive day of losses for the investment bank. Shifting gears to the energy sector, ExxonMobil closed at $105.70, a slight decrease of 0.3%. This marks the oil giant's second consecutive day of losses. Chevron also experienced a decline, closing at $162.90, a 0.6% drop. This is the second straight day of losses for Chevron, potentially reflecting investor concerns about the volatility of oil prices. Despite these losses in the energy sector, the overall market sentiment remained positive yesterday, as evidenced by the strong performance of the major indices. However, the mixed results from individual companies across different sectors highlight the importance of careful stock selection and a diversified portfolio in the current market environment. Now, let's turn our attention to the cryptocurrency market, where we saw some positive momentum yesterday. Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, closed at $58,235.90, a 0.9% increase. This marks a reversal from the previous day's losses, suggesting renewed investor interest. Dogecoin, often considered a more speculative cryptocurrency, also saw gains, closing at 10 cents, a 1% increase. This marks 2 consecutive days of gains for Dogecoin. Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency, continued its upward trajectory, closing at $3,123.10, a 0.7% gain. This marks an impressive 4 consecutive days of gains for Ethereum, indicating growing confidence in its underlying technology and potential applications. These gains in the cryptocurrency market suggest that investors are regaining some appetite for risk, even as they closely monitor the performance of traditional markets. That's all the time we have for today's market wrap-up. We'll continue to track these trends and bring you the latest insights as the earnings season progresses. Remember, investing in the financial markets involves risks, and it's essential to conduct thorough research and consider your investment goals and risk tolerance before making any decisions.